Afternoon, Sergey Viktorovich. My question is about Syria. Yesterday, in the evening, some media published photos proving criminal military crimes of Assad, and the reports of the investigations were also published. What do you think about that? And the second question, is it a sufficient proof to prove the military crimes of Assad and the forces loyal to him? You know, I didn't see those photos, but I saw previous reports. I already said in my introductory remarks that information policies are the best for information wars, and these are also parts of the information war. One has to be aware that military crimes are committed in this conflict on both sides, and what conclusions can we make out of those reports, of those briefings that were held for the last week in Geneva by the United Nations Commissary on the human rights, on humanitarian issues? The most atrocious crimes are committed by jihadists. But the main principle of responsibility for military crimes, it wasn't abolished by anyone. It is proclaimed in Geneva Communique, in the United Nations resolutions. One has to separate real facts from lies that is widely spread, including by respected TV channels. There are a lot of examples. I will not give the names of the channels, not to offend anyone. There are a lot of examples when the channels with good reputation, regional channels, showed the atrocities near Damascus, and then it turned out that it were atrocities committed 10 years ago in Iraq, and there are a lot of such examples. Everything depends on the source and the motivation of the source. 90% of the references to the regime atrocities came from the Syrian Observatory of Human Rights, which is a small flat populated by 2 people. So this is the observatory that spread sources, that spread news about what happens in Syria. I do not say that crimes are not committed in Syria. They are, but they should be documented, and we should not take this aspect as the most acute and relevant one. And we should not demand that until justice prevails, we will not talk to the regime, while the opposition forces have come out with such demands on the preliminary stage. The first task now, the first task at hand is to stop the violence, and then in the process of stabilization, of the national reconciliation, the necessary steps should be done. There is relevant global experience, but the facts should be verified. A lot of lies are spread around this topic, actually.